Today again we will start this chapter 6 lines and angles, and this is of class 9 NCERT maths. So yesterday we have discussed about so many things about lines, angles and types of angles, but some things left yesterday. The things are collinear points, concurrent lines, parallel lines. About these all things we will discuss today. So first of all, what are collinear points? We should know what are collinear points. You know that when two points are there, and if you join the 2 points, the straight lines form. It let straight line form. But when 3 or more points lie on the same line, 3 or more points lie on the same straight line, the points are called collinear points. So let's see the definition. If 3 or more points lie on the three or more points lie on the same straight line, same straight. No. Here I am writing when, it will be better. When 3 or more points lie on the same straight line, the points are called collinear points. Collinear points. When 3 or more points lie on the same straight line, the points are called collinear points. This is the line. You can see there are points. These are the points A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. You can see many points are there. More than 3 points are there, and they are on the same line, same straight line. That's why the points A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, these points are called collinear points. These points are called collinear points. Collinear points. Now you understand? Concurrent lines. What type of lines are called concurrent lines? This is the point when 3 or more lines passing through the same point. 3 or more lines passing through the same points are called concurrent lines. You can see, I can label it line L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. L, M, this line is L, this is M, this line is N, and this is O. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines are there. So you can see more than 3 lines, they passing through this point. This point, suppose O. All the points are passing through this point O. That's why the points, these lines L, M, N, and O are called concurrent lines. You know that in the primary sections only, teachers taught you when we label the line, means suppose you want to label this line, means you want to name this line, then what will be? If you want to use single letter, then we use letter small for naming this line. But when you want to use two letters, then we put 2 points, we take 2 points on it, and then we write the capital letter. So there are two ways to name the lines. Means line AB, this is also, and line L. So L is small letter. So if you put small letter, that will indicate the line, but there is no point. The L is this small letter do not indicate any point. So this whole line name is L, but when you put 2 points and you write the letter, means you use the alphabets, then we use capital letters to name the line. Okay, so L, M, N and O, there are many points and many lines, and they are passing through the point O. That's why this type of lines are called concurrent lines. So you see the definition. When 3 or more lines passing through the same point are called concurrent lines. Okay, understand? So these are called concurrent lines. When 3 or more lines passing through the same point are called concurrent lines. You can see L, M, N and O. These are the lines passing through these points. That's why this type of lines are called concurrent lines. Next, parallel lines. This concept of the parallel lines come from Euclid's fifth postulate, and that is we have already discussed. So let's see what are parallel lines. So first see the definition of the parallel line. Two or more lines are called parallel lines. Two or more lines are called parallel lines if they do not intersect each other at any point either produced on both sides. Either produced on both sides. Two or more lines are called parallel lines if they do not intersect each other at any point, either produced on both sides. Means when you can see these two lines. These two lines are parallel lines because distance between them same everywhere same. If the distance between these two parallel lines is 5 cm here, then every point between them the distance will be 5 cm only. So that's why this type of lines are called parallel lines. Okay, and when the two line segments are there and you produced on both sides, they will not intersect each other. So this type of lines are called parallel lines. You understand? So some properties are there about relating about the angles. We will discuss. Let's see. Okay, let's see parallel lines and transversal line. What are parallel lines and what is a transversal line? You see, just we define the parallel lines, but what is a transversal line? When a line intersects two or more lines at distinct points. If a line intersects two or more lines in a distinct point, the line is called transversal line. It intersects these two parallel lines at distinct points, two distinct points. Two or more lines at distinct points. So it intersects two or more lines at distinct points. That's why this type of line is called parallel lines. You see, when it intersects two or more lines, you see some angles form. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see that these are the angles. 5, 6, 7, 8. I have labeled it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you know there are some relation between these angles. So what type of relations are there? Just see. First of all, you see this angle 3 and angle 6 and angle 4 and angle 5. There are some relations. This angle 3 is just left side of this transversal. This side is LHS and this is RHS, right hand side. So this 3 is left side of this transversal and this 6 is right side of this transversal. This 3 is just inside of the first line and this 6 is other side but just inside of the another line. Means this type of line, this type of angles, where one left side, other will be right side, but one will be just inside of the first line, other will be just inside of the second line. So this type of angles are called alternate interior angles because they are inside. That's why they are called interior. Alternate, why? Because they are just opposite to each other. That's why it is called alternate interior angles because they are just opposite to each other, but they are inside. So the name will be alternate interior angles. Angle 3 equal to angle 6 alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. Angle 3 will be equal to angle 6 and angle 4 will be equal to angle 5. These are called alternate interior angles. In short, we write angles. These are called alternate interior angles, and alternate interior angles are equal. So you understand why they are alternate interior angles? Because they are just opposite to each other. That's why they are alternate. Interior means they are just inside of the parallel lines. That's why these angles are called interior angles. Next, corresponding angles. corresponding angles. Corresponding angles, angle 2 and angle 6. Angle 2 and angle 6. So this angle 2 will be equal to angle 6. What is the special property there? You see, angle 2 is just outside of the first line and angle C is just inside of the second line. But they are same side. The angles which are same side, but one is just out of the exterior of the first line and another will be interior of the second line. So this type of angles are called corresponding angles. Angle 2 will be equal to angle 6. Angle 1 will be equal to angle 5. Angle 4 will be equal to angle 6. 4 equal to angle 8. Angle 3 equal to angle 7. 3 equal to angle 7. You see, 2 is just exterior of this first line. 6 is interior of this second line. Next, angle 1 and angle 5. Angle 1 is just exterior of this first line, angle 5 is interior of the second line, but they are same side. This type of angles are called corresponding angles. Angle 4, same side, angle 8 and angle 4, both are same side, but one is inside of the first line, another is exterior of the second line. 3 and 7, same side, but one is just interior of the first line, another is exterior of the second line. So this type of angles are called corresponding angles. These are called corresponding angles. Now angle 4 and angle 6. What will be the sum of these two angles? The sum of these two angles will be 180 degree, and that concept comes from the Euclid's fifth postulate. Euclid's fifth postulate. Same side, but they are consecutive and they are inside. That's why they are called consecutive interior angles. These two angles are called consecutive interior angles, and their sum will be 180 degree because they are supplementary angles. Angle 4 plus angle 6 equal to 180 degree. Angle 3 plus angle 5 equal to 180 degree. Consecutive interior angles. Consecutive interior angles. In short, we write co-interior angles. So, sum of co-interior angles are, sum of co-interior angle is 180 degree, and the co-interior angles are supplementary when the two lines are parallel. Next, like that, this will be consecutive exterior angle. So consecutive exterior angles. Their sum also will be 180 degree. So angle 2 plus angle 8 equal to 180 degree. Angle 1 plus angle 7 equal to 180 degree. Co-exterior angles. Like that, alternate exterior angles also there. Alternate exterior angles, and alternate exterior angles are also equal. alternate means they are just opposite to each other, but they are exterior, outside of the parallel line. Angle 1 will be equal to angle 8, angle 2 will be equal to angle 7. Alternate exterior angles. Angle 1 and angle 4, these are called vertically opposite angles, and that is already we have discussed. Angle vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles, angle 1 equal to angle 4, angle 2 equal to angle 3, angle 5 equal to angle 8, angle 6 equal to angle 7. These are vertically opposite angles. So you understand the relation between angles when the two lines are parallel and one is transversal there, then you know many angles are there, and the relation among them you have seen here. Okay, now we will start some examples from this chapter. Let's see.